Oh, hello. I am back to go back to my old mainstay, the series I can never let go, The Simpsons, because I talk about licensed video games on my channel, and every once in a while there's cool new things happening in the world of Simpsons games, not officially, other than The Simpsons tapped out, there's no new Simpsons game stuff coming out of anyone, but some wonderful developers out there are taking it upon themselves to not just create like new works, like fan games and such, but also to bring back games that have just not been available outside of like physical form factors. And so you can already see on the screen. I'm going to be talking about what would they call it? Retrofab. That's the name of it. It's Retrofab, and I guess it's a platform. It is a platform and engine, I suppose, for making LCD handhelds or simulations of LCD handhelds that are playable in your browser, or that are playable, as PC games, as downloadables, and they're developed by a great developer named I hope I'm not butchering your name, Itizso. Itizso. I'll go with Itizso, but yeah, they're a developer who has been working on this platform for a while now, and as I scroll down their page here on itch.io, that's where I am looking at the moment, they've taken just a bunch of these different handhelds, LCD handhelds from a bunch of manufacturers over the years, that this was a popular form of electronic amusement. But yeah, you can see here, they've got some real classics too. There's Donkey Kong, which I personally really like that this is here, because this is probably my first handheld game of any kind. Maybe even my first video game. Not video game because it's not a video screen, but first electronic game of any kind was this Donkey Kong. So that's there. And if you go to this developer's page, I'll link to it in the description, but their name is Itizso, and the URL is itizso.itch.io/retrofab. That's where you find this. There's just a ton of different games. There's the Game & Watch series from Nintendo, all sorts of form factors, these tabletop games, these panorama games, and it goes on and on and on. It is astounding. And the reason I'm checking this game out today, these games out, is because he took he took one of these Simpsons games, Bartman, Avenger of Evil, and guess what, buddy? Yeah, that's me. I have this, of course, because I'm the Simpsons person, obsessive, and of course I would have it. But recently I had the chance to collaborate with and contribute to the development of another one of those games, which is, you can see there, Bart Simpson's Cupcake Crisis from 1990. These are both Acclaim games, Acclaim being the developer of those early Simpsons games like Bart versus the Space Mutants. And apparently they were looking at maybe Nintendo and Tiger Electronics, I guess at the time too, and they thought like, oh, we want in on that. And it wasn't just them, Bondi here with some older games. So yeah, they just saw that market, and Acclaim decided like, oh, we have a good license, let's try it out. And Itizso took these games and just turned them into online simulations, and that's what I'm going to be playing now. So that's a bit of preamble to set this up, this incredible developer and their work, and now I'm just going to hop into both of these games and give them a go. So I'm going to start with the first one that was made available. What's neat, and the reason they got in contact with me, or Itizso got in contact with me, is that you can see here in the resources, I had some videos online of playthroughs of these games, like me holding the handhelds up to a camera and just kind of clicking and clacking away at it, and they were able to use some of those assets from both YouTube videos and my website noiseland.co to help flesh out, to create this game, just the assets they would need for this. Let's click play and kick this off here. But you can see here it was just released too. You saw that build. I don't know if you saw the build date, but it was from April. And there you go, Bartman, Avenger of Evil. It looks just like what the game would look like if you were holding it in your hand, only now it's magic. It's in your browser. Before I start a playthrough of this little game, I'm going to poke around at some of these amazing settings. On the right here, we have some options. If we poke around, we can change backgrounds, which I think is really neat. And that includes these really neat 3D space backgrounds, just kind of like to have a setting, like you're at your desk after school or something. I guess you're Bart. Maybe you have a slingshot and an apple and such, and it's really great because you can see here the developer incorporates controls and some details, a high score tracker if you play it and want to track your score, and just some various little background elements to give it some character. And also, what else can we do here? Oh, we can look at the instructions. I think this might have been something from my site. Is that correct? Yeah. That's so. So yes, at one point in time I scanned the instruction manual for this because I bought it new. All these things, the LCD handhelds in particular, I bought new in packaging because I wanted to be able to scan all these materials. It's great that they found a use for that stuff. It's not just sitting online for random passersby, but yeah, there's instruction manual. It's in all the languages too. So, and this just kind of breaks down how the game plays. And I guess this is, well, for this game in particular, there were other simulations. There used to be a Flash site with this game. That site's dead, obviously, because Flash is dead. Another reason that this is really amazing work on their part, because it brings these games forward into more modern technology. But yeah, so there's that. There's the manual. You can look at the packaging if you want to kind of get a sense of what it looked like. It came in these. Is this a blister pack? I don't know what you call this packaging, but this is what those old LCD handhelds used to come in. Just kind of a plastic thing that would completely shred your hand if you tried to force it open a little too quickly. You had to basically have an industrial knife to be able to slice through this thing and open up the package. But also, if you wanted to preserve some of the packaging, you had to be a bit careful. But yeah, there you go. There's the packaging. Here's what we're going to go back to game mode. This is what it looks like. And real quick before I start, I'm going to show off some of what to me makes this like a next level effort is that they don't just simulate the game perfectly after obtaining all these assets and programming the game. Itizso they also go the extra step here to add these visuals to basically just colorize the graphics. So it's like, I don't know, it's maybe like colorizing a Game Boy, right? A Game Boy game is that it just adds an extra dimension to it, and also I feel makes it a lot more playable to functionally. The gameplay is improved by having these colorized graphics to mess with. Yes, there's a bunch of settings you can do. You can alter your controls, which I won't need. I'm just going to go ahead and start a game. We're going to start at level 1. Each of these games has levels 1 and 2. Level 2 is basically just faster and more advanced. I'll start at level 1 just to take it easy on myself. Let's zoom in here. And yeah, there's keyboard controls. WASD and Enter, I believe. Yep, there it is. So we're just going to take it easy at level 1 here. This game, yeah, is about Bart. There's basically 2 steps to a level's playthrough. Is Bart kind of going up against Nelson here, dodging walnuts maybe, or some kind of projectiles to collect all of the Bartman attire. And then once you're Bartman, you're on the road here dodging. Oh, when you remember to jump, you're meant to dodge that watermelon. Thusly. There it is. I dodged it. Right. And now I grabbed an apple, which you need if you're going to bop Nelson in the face. And that's kind of the essential gameplay here. Is once you're Bartman, you're dodging apples, you're trying to bop Nelson in the face with apples, and that's kind of it. And much like any of these, I keep forgetting which is the jump button. Yeah, much like any of these sort of arcade-style games, the objective is just to survive and get a high score. That's really it. Oh, again, pressing the wrong button. I didn't mean to jump there. Yeah, let's see how far I'll get here. Yeah, I recently did play this quite a bit too, because, again, Itizso reached out to just let me know that they had used some of the assets I put online for this game, which I was, again, amazed by. And I also got to playtest a little bit and kind of provide some feedback on this one that had already been completed. And I did, so that gave me a reason to go back and play it. I hadn't played this thing for years. Or even seriously. I can say that for all the LCD games I own. I bought them all and played them, but I don't, even the playthroughs, the gameplay videos I posted on YouTube are not too in-depth. Oh, here we need to, I forget the keys. All right, so it's F5. I'm just going to select continue. which just lets you resume from the phase you left off on. Because in addition to having multiple levels of speed, you also have multiple phases within each level, up to 6 phases, I believe. So P6 would be the last one I reach here, but yeah. So the idea is that each phase will also get faster and it just gets more challenging. So you can imagine, right? Like each phase gets progressively faster, and level 2 is the more advanced version of the game where it's already. I'm looking at the camera here. I guess I don't have to look at the camera, but yeah. So this game at the more advanced levels, it gets very quick and pretty tough. All right, I won't play for too much longer. This will be a quick video. I just want to give it at least one more go because I can at least get to phase 2. Let's say that. Doot doot doot. Good sounds on these games too. And again, I have to say that the developer isn't I don't know, dumping a ROM or whatever the equivalent would be for these LCD games. They are using footage of the game to capture sounds, to capture images, to reconstruct the game, basically. This is taking something that's already been built and designed and then reconstructing it in... I'm not sure what engine they use. I'll check in the details after this, but it might be Unity. I'll find out. But yeah, it's really impressive. It's completely reconstructing a game, well, you saw how many games are out or have been developed by us, so maybe it's gotten easier. But I imagine it was certainly a challenging endeavor to do something like this. But after so many, it's yep, LCD games. Itizso must know how to do make those pretty well. Jump. Grab. Jump. Shoot. There it is. Yeah, each phase progresses after a certain score. And I think for this game, it's 5,000 points. So that's what I'm going to try to reach here. Because I do want to get to at least phase 2. So we're roughly halfway right now. Oh, was that it? Wait, really? Was that the end of the phase? Huh. Uh-oh. Oh, you know what it is? I'm getting mixed up because I did play the original, and actually I sent this feedback to Itizso. Itizso is the original game phases advance at 5,000 points. This build of the game currently doesn't. So I sent in some feedback. I was like, oh yeah, the original game's actually a bit different. So again, that's the advantage of what I was able to kind of do. Is just I own these games. And I'm super happy to provide feedback and information to any developer who ever wants to know about Simpsons game stuff, because I just have too much of that in my brain and in my storage unit. Yeah, I did have to fetch these from my storage unit too to check on them, because I always feel like I'm done with the Simpsons games. I'm always like, yep, I did enough with that. I can put it in storage and move along to other things. And yeah, every once in a while, just something cool pops up that makes me go back and dig into these things. All right, we're gonna complete this phase, and then I'll wrap it up for Bartman, Avenger of Evil gameplay. I mean, that was a playthrough, by the way. I mean, that was the nature of these old Why did I throw that apple? I threw it to... You can only throw the apple and actually hit Nelson when his face is at the edge of the truck. So I kind of blew it there. Uh-oh. Yeah, so the main thing that's going to happen over the course of more phases is it speeds up. It speeds up, and everything moving faster is what makes it more challenging, because inevitably it's moving very quickly and there's a lot happening, and you're going to get smashed in the face by a watermelon or an apple. All right. Oh, see, or you do something dumb like that because you're not thinking and you jump right into an apple. Boop, boop, boop. It's funny how that's not music, but it does have a nice rhythm to it. Doot, 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 doot. I can live with this sound, which is essential, I imagine, because if you have one of these, and you're playing through in the back of a car on a road trip or something. First of all, these things are so loud in the original game. Like I was shocked. Like playing them again recently, just how loud all of these beeps and boops are. I well, let's just say I was turning off the sound pretty regularly just because it was going to be a bit much. I'm not again the phases would normally end at 5,000. I don't know when this phase will end. I want to find out. Maybe at 8,000. We'll see. Doot 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 doot. Oh. Another cool thing I really admire is the fact that, again, not just the fact that they colorize the graphics, but that like somehow, you know, he figures out a way just to have that background graphic, which is a piece of paper inside of the machine. All right, well that's the end of that. Let's go ahead and ACL, which resets the game, and there you go. If you want to see the quote unquote sprite sheet of this game, there it is. So that's it for Bartman, Avenger of Evil. Bit of gameplay, again, in the retro fab simulation. Any details we should know here? Release date 1990. The description, I think he takes it from the manual. Some controls. Does he mention Unity? Oh no, HTML5. Oh snap! It's not even Unity. It's HTML5, which I don't know. To me, that's more impressive. I know HTML5 is capable of great things, but that just makes it cooler. You can see up there that it does track your score, and it persists. If you were to leave the game and come back, you would still have your high scores there. So that's another neat element that I think is really cool, is that the high scores are there. Well, that's it for that game. So now we're going to move on to the game Bart Simpson's Cupcake Crisis, the game that I was super involved with because I got to provide videos for to provide like a reference, in terms of understanding what the game is and how to build it. Because Itizso doesn't have the original hardware, so I provided videos of gameplay, of multiple playthroughs. I kept like thinking like, oh, surely this 10 minutes of gameplay is enough. And then I would realize like, oh no, I didn't show this other thing. And so I ended up sending multiple videos over time. But yeah, like the audio comes from those videos. Box art comes from the site where I scanned the box art. Instruction manual, which we'll look at shortly. Simpson 3D art, we'll look at that in a moment. That's a neat addition as well. Is this also HTML5? It is. So there you go. Even after I've been playing it for a bit, I'm learning something new. So, but yeah, let's get into what this game actually is. 1990s. This one actually released before Bartman, Avenger of Evil. And build as of today. Like Itizso notified me like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours ago that the build was live, and I was like, all right, I'm hopping in now. I got to record this right away. So what else is there to... So before we hop into the game itself, let me start off with this part here. Oh no, we did this already. Yeah, we're good. All right, so yeah, again, great environment art. There are other backgrounds, but it's the backgrounds I was already showing earlier. If you want a more plain background, you have plenty of options, but I do like the more ambient backgrounds that provide all this stuff that I guess a kid in the 90s would have had, or in 1990. An ad for the game, I guess, that he found somewhere. Is there a credit for the ad, I wonder? No. Well, who knows where it came from, but it is cool that it's there. Some instructions here. Again, similar setup to Bartman Avenger of Evil. Multiple levels, multiple phases. Controls are different because it's a different kind of game. You'll see that in a moment. I like that the Simpsons are all kind of there. Little action figure-y type 3D model. Well, that's that. What else can we look at? I looked at the backgrounds. Packaging? Actually, no. Instructions first, which we'll load up here. Again, just kind of a scan I made of the instruction manual because this is that ephemeral stuff that people don't really keep track of online, right? Especially like people who buy things in packaging or collectors who want to keep it that way. I'm the ruiner. I will buy something that's perfect mint in package and I will tear it open. Well, not tear it open. I will carefully open it up because this is the stuff I want to get to. I want the instruction manual, the scans of the packaging. Yes, I am a grown man. Yes, I love graphics and boxes. I don't care. I love it all. So yeah, this is where that manual came from, is from the scans I made on the site. And we look at the packaging itself, just again, just to give you an idea of what the game looked like when it was sold to you in a store. this is what it would have been. And they all have that little like sticker, I guess, that kind of it gives you an example of the visuals on that's stuck onto the plastic itself. And then finally, we can just get into the game. So this one I played a lot more of because this is the one where I had to, again, provide gameplay videos and then provide feedback. I won't say, yeah, in fact, yes, I didn't master this game because level 2 speed of the game is rough. And I did not make it to phase 6 of level 2 but I am confident that in here, I will be able to sit through a level 1 playthrough up to phase 6. So that's what I'm going to shoot for. Naturally, we're going to enable those colorized graphics. Mwah. It's beautiful. Look at that. It's amazing. That's also the zoom here is nice because it goes right in there. Like you saw on the zoom on Bartman isn't as close. Here in Cupcake Crisis, he really brings it all the way in, which I really like. It looks real great. Before I do that though, let me make sure I have my controls right. So okay. So you don't even need up. There's no jumping in this game. It's just used for sit, which is also the bottom one. So you really just need 3 keys for movement and sitting. We're gonna turn on sound, of course. Oh, there it is. And then we're gonna zoom in. And let's go. Yeah, so this one is super. I took to this one a lot more because I've played the heck out of the Game & Watch games on Game Boy. And one of the best games on there, I think is, am I going to forget the name of it? Is it Oil Panic? No, I'm thinking of the one where, Fire. It might be called Fire. It's a game where you're a fireman, and you have people jumping out of a burning building, and you have to kind of bounce them across the screen. And you're basically just doing this. Oh, yeah, you have to get on the couch to get a higher score, and also to not lose a life, because the whole family sits on the couch before you. Yeah, you lose a life for that. It's a penalty. Also, I didn't explain the core gameplay, which is collect cupcakes, give them to Marge. You can only carry up to 5 at a time. If you try to pick up a 6th cupcake, you will lose. Or rather, you'll lose a life for that. And obviously, the speed right now is it's manageable. It's not too bad at all. And I will say that playing on a computer is so much nicer and less stressful than playing in the handheld. Because with the handheld, you're dealing with like screen glare from like the lights behind you, because you need light as well. There's screen glare, there's shadows, there's the fact that you're moving around and you're uncomfortable. That adds to the challenge. Playing on PC is a little more friendly, I think. So it's another great reason that to have this simulation of the game, because it just makes it more approachable, I'd say. Oh, so what I haven't done yet, if you do collect 5 and deliver all 5 at one time, you get 1,000 points for that, which is a really good bonus. So let's see if I can do it here in phase 1 before things get too fast. There it is. So there you go. Also Maggie things start to speed up in the latter part of the phases, so I will not be looking at you as much. I need to focus on this if I'm going to hit phase. March, no! Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the thing, though. If you have all the cupcakes and you forgot to give them, if you get too confident, I guess, and don't give them to Marge, then it's over. And you're going to die. Oh, buddy. Oh, those cupcakes on the far right. Oh, man. Maggie gets real aggressive with those cupcakes. Like, you'll be on the far left because you're waiting for Marge, and then Maggie throws one out on the far right. And yeah, again, that's the game. You're zipping back and forth. It gets real stressful later on. So you have 3 strikes and you're out. If you have a strike and you complete a phase, then that strike is removed. So you can take like a fall, a hit, and then as long as you can get to the end of the phase, that'll be erased. So another reason to get good, I guess. But yeah, I'm not going to be doing too many 5 cupcake deliveries anymore because again, you'll get overconfident and then Marge won't show up and you're screwed. Yeah, playing this game by myself in my apartment, no one else around me, I would I absolutely just started talking out loud, cursing Marge, for example, for not showing up. Marge, Marge, Marge! Oh no. The exact same situation as last time, where Marge was on the couch, so she's not going to show up to pick up cupcakes. So again, that's it, what I said. You get overconfident, don't do it. Just drop off one cupcake at a time, whatever. Oh, 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 oh. Another great aspect of the way Itizso develops these games is you can see the physical nature of these materials, right? Like the case and that background looks like it's a printed piece of paper, which again, that's what it is. Basically, it's just a high quality, construction paper printout of that art. And here you can see it. You can see like the print quality of it. It's just, it's just. I'm not shocked because it's just that Itizso puts so much really fine detail work into achieving, the best possible simulation, and then adds those features like the colorized graphics that just make it even that much better. So I'm just really, really happy that all that stuff I put online could be used in a project like this. It's astounding. And then I don't know why I personally love it so much, because I don't own The Simpsons or get anything out of this, but it makes me really happy that The Simpsons LCD games are among all those greats, right? Because there are like a ton of amazing, popular, famous LCD games that people remember fondly, like the Game & Watch series and that Donkey Kong game I mentioned. I'm really happy that the Simpsons game, a couple of the Simpsons games are among such great company. And again, it was just a reminder to me of how good some of these games, like this game in particular, I'd say of Bartman and this one, this is definitely my favorite of the two. Just because it gets real stressful, and sometimes I'll just tell you now, I don't have a lot of time to spend on games that are going to kill me and make me repeat stuff, but for a short loop experience like this, where you're just kind of, it doesn't take long to get back to where you left off. Stressful game situations in a game like this is great. It's fine. It's a perfect time for stressful gaming. All right, so we're almost up to the end of phase 2 or 3. I need 300 more points. Marge. Yeah, that's what I was saying about earlier when I talk to myself, even when I'm just here alone, not recording anything. I just start saying stuff like, Marge, get over here. What are you doing? Come back. Also, I have not been delivering enough cupcakes. So, note to self. The moment Marge is there, give her the cupcakes. Just do it. Oh, do it. Do it. Grab it. Do it. I was thinking of doing a no commentary run of the videos, but frankly, you should just play the games. Or someone else can do that. I don't want to just post videos that anyone else could do. That's why I'm doing the commentary one. So I could really emphasize how amazing this developer is and talk them up, really. That's the main thing I want to do is go check out their page and their games and all of their ton of work that I don't think anything is a paid product. It's all for free, right? So it's just all work done for free just to build up this platform and get these games back out there into the world in some way. Oh, grab it. Oh, okay. I wonder if I should show you a fail. Not right now. I want to get to the end of phase 6, and then I'll do then I'll fail a few times in different ways, just so you can see what it is like to fail. But right now, I can't afford to take a hit. Yeah, things. Yeah, things in Phase 4, both in this game and Bartman Avenger of Evil. That's where things get real. When you get to Phase 4 of either level 1 or 2, that's when you realize, like, oh, okay, I gotta get serious here. All right. Again, I should not be getting to 5 cupcakes anymore. We are beyond that. We don't need that 1,000 point bonus. We can just take it slow and steady. Oh, there it is. Man, Maggie's a cupcake throwing machine. Look at her go. Yeah. The sound, I'm realizing now, again, I was playing a lot without sound because it's so loud. And I don't know. It's late in the evening usually when I have time to kind of check into these things. So yeah, I just don't like playing with a bunch of sound when it's later in the evening. But sound also helps you keep the rhythm of the game. I'm realizing, like, the gameplay. It's like da 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 da. So the sound just helps your brain, like, with the movements. Something I've had in mind for a while, and I don't know. I don't want to volunteer myself because I think it would be a big project, but I would love to read a book or some kind of, like, oral history of this game development of LCD games, right? Like, find some of the major players at, like, Tiger Electronics. I mean, Nintendo. God, I don't think you'd be able to get anyone from Nintendo who worked on Game & Watch, but getting some people from, like, Tiger Electronics to really go in depth into, like, the design and development process of a game like this. Like, what does it take? You know, what kind of skills? What kind of people do you need on your team? You know, you definitely need engineers. Uh-oh, Marge. Yeah. Damn it. All right. That's fine. We're close to the end of Phase 5 here, I believe. Maybe Phase 6. Anyway, yeah. I want to know more about LCD game development of the 90s and the 80s. And I would pay good money for a book all about that. But yeah, it would also just take, like, a lot of investigative journalism. Is that 2 hits? Oh no. Oh, this is it. Right here. We did it, I think. Right? Yes, that's how math works. That was the end of Phase 6. Okay. So now the game will just loop through Phase 6. Like, if you get to Phase 6, you basically just repeat it until you die, until you lose. So now we're just gonna fail. I'm gonna try the couch fail for you. Unless I mess up in some other way, but... Alright, here we go. So, you're gonna see the family show up one by one. I'm not gonna sit down. Oh no, I blew it. I was trying to show you a couch fail. Alright, we'll do it again. I just have to remember to drop off cupcakes. Alright, come on, buddy. Oh. Alright, here we go. This is it. Couch fail. No. I should have picked up that cupcake. Oh well. So now what you can do... Oh no. I'm going to have to zoom out. I don't remember the keyboard controls for the functions. So now you have the option to select to continue from the phase and level where you left off, but with 0 score. You'd have to start at 0, but you can resume from the same phase at least. So if you want the faster speed, you can do that. Which is... No, let's try level 2. Why not? But anyway, again, that was enough gameplay, I think. What I really want to show you now is the couch fail. So a slower speed should help us out here. So yeah, the idea with level 2 is you start off at a faster speed. Oh, here I go again, forgetting to drop off cupcakes. All right, here we go. This is it. I can feel it in my bones. Come on, Lisa. So, all right. So there you go. That's the couch fail. If the entire once Lisa shows up on the couch, basically Bart has to beat Lisa to the couch, and if he waits too long, then the game decides that's a penalty, and you take a hit. And I think that's it. I mean, you've already seen these fails. If you drop a cupcake, or if you have 5 of them and you take another one, Bart just kind of like, oh, he just flops on the ground and drops the cupcakes. And that's it. That is Bart Simpson's Cupcake Crisis by Itizso, originally by Acclaim, but the simulation by Itizso. You can see up there, my high scores have been recorded, and they will stay there. So again, if you want to play the game for a bit, hop out and come back. That your high scores will always be there. I would love for like a serious player who's like, oh hell yeah, to dive into these games and blow them up 99999 all across the board. That would be neat. It's not going to be me. I only have so much patience to try to get through that. But yeah, there's that. Here's a neat thing I forgot to note earlier. In this ad for these games from Acclaim, you can see that the form factor, the case color was black. The title was different. This is probably a mock-up. I think these are probably early designs before they decided, like, no, we can afford to pay for the blue plastic instead of just like a black case across the board. But yeah, so there you go. That's Itizso's Bart Simpson's Cupcake Crisis and Bartman, Avenger of Evil. Beautiful works. I cannot talk highly enough of Itizso. It was great collaborating with him on these works and to help provide feedback and playtesting and assets and all the stuff. It was great. Great to work with, great collaboration, and I was glad to contribute in any way that I could to help make this happen. So it's been amazing. It's been a great process. So I'm really happy to be able to play it now and talked about it to you in this surprisingly long video. I talked about these things quite a bit. Here is Itizso's itch.io page. This is where you should go. It's not just RetroFab too. RetroFab is the thing I've been focusing on, but there are all sorts of different games and prototypes and experiments, practice stuff, I guess, just to show off some of the sort of the work in progress things as Itizso just becomes better and better at what he does. And that's it for these games. Thanks for watching this video. Again, I'll link to all these things, but you should go check out this amazing collection of work. I will finish scrolling down the page beyond the Simpsons stuff, just so you can get a complete idea. Bandai, Electronica, who I've never even... It's a Russian game? It's a Russian game, apparently. A Soviet Game & Watch clone. Like, what? This is bonkers. Tiger, oh, that's fascinating. Only one from Tiger Electronics. When we all know Tiger Electronics is this, big name in this LCD game space. I can't remember the technology. Actually, you know what? I bet it's been recorded in here. I'm just going to poke at this real quick. Here you go. VFD. That's the type of screen this uses. It's a whole different type of display. It's really neat and neon colored. Parker Brothers was doing the stuff. Mattel. Is this football? No, auto race. This interesting things like this is just it's from the 70s. All right, this is like game history. That's what all of this is ultimately. This is capturing a slice of game history when pre-Game Boy, even during Game Boy, really. If your parents didn't want to buy you a Game Boy or an expensive gaming handheld, they'd buy you one of these because these were like, I don't know, $20, $30, if that. They were super cheap and you can see why. It's simpler elements, but it's really amazing. So there you go. Go check out everything. That's it for the video. Thanks for watching, and look forward to more of my wacky, obsessive looks into licensed gaming history, because that's what I like to do, and I love to come back to it. So yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you next time.